Alrighty, let's get this show on the road. As suggested, this live stream is pretty much just going to be a weird stream of consciousness kind of thing, which works because, frankly, I'm kind of tired and we've got some lag setting in. So, stream of consciousness, it should fit alright. Let's see. I'm not really that good about randomly saying thoughts out loud. If you accidentally eat the product inside your cereal, does that make you a specially marked box? Anyone, wonder how they get milk from things that are not mammals? I'm doing alright. Like I said, we got some lag today, but we can deal with that. Maybe. Possibly. Hey Aqua, what's up? How are you guys doing? Oh, yum. Ramen. Let's see. Does anybody have any idea what they're going as for Halloween, I guess? Not really a shower thought, but... You know, everybody points out that since well, this question originally came from, do you know how they get milk out of almonds? And it turns out they, well, I will save the explanation for when you're back then. It turns out they soak them, and a whole process I'm not going to get into right now. Let's see. People talk about how since the advent... Okay, that's a cool costume. But since the advent of smartphones and stuff, there have been fewer documented sightings of cryptids like Bigfoot and so on. But if you think about it, it's been a reasonable enough amount of time for Bigfoot to have died if he did exist. You know? It's possible there was a Bigfoot and then something happened to him. Just like there could have been, possibly, a Loch Ness monster and then something happened to it. But, I mean, who knows? These things were probably hoaxes anyway. It's just interesting to think about. Oh, it's okay, dude. I guess I will just give the explanation now. How they get milk from almonds is they soak them, and then they blend them up, and then they strain that, and that's almond milk. It's not really milk so much as a very smooth almond puree. Oh, cool. I didn't know that game existed, but sounds like it was fun. Let's see, what else can I talk about? It's kind of odd that nowadays we see clowns as scary and skeletons as funny. Could you imagine going to clown school these days? And again, if you go to clown school, chances are you like clowns. The funny thing is, clown school is probably harder than what people would consider real school, because clowning is not easy. Like, it's not just goofing off, it's legitimately coming up with a routine that has to be funny. It's hard to make things funny these days, but that's probably because humor ages the least well. Like, anyone can get drama, but humor's a little tougher. I'm not so sure that we could necessarily go back in time to, like, Shakespeare's day, and people would find a picture of a skeleton playing a flute captioned "doot doot." I don't think anyone would find that particularly funny. Although maybe they might. Apparently Shakespeare wrote the first "your mom" joke. Or at least the first one that got written down. I'm sure they existed before then. I'm not gonna repeat it here, because it's pretty bad. But it is the classic one that gets repeated even during multiplayer battles on Xbox. So I guarantee you've heard it. That said, sometimes Shakespeare's humor, I don't know, Shakespeare, he did have an interesting sense of humor, but some of it like I said, hasn't aged well. And not in an it became offensive way, just in a nobody knows what the joke is supposed to be about way. Because life looks pretty different these days. People are still the same. There was once this guy who got kicked out of a theater. I'm not sure whether it was Shakespeare's theater, but it was a theater. Because he strategically bought seats and gave the tickets to bald men. Just to spell out a rude word. So, I mean, maybe some humor hasn't aged. Or maybe some humor hasn't really aged a day even. No matter how many centuries go by. Apparently the sitcom was introduced in like ancient Greece. Because, well, simply put, people were a little more concerned with things that were closer to home and what could be adapted no matter where you were. Comedies that took place at home. So that's where we got a lot of the tropes that we still see today. What a legacy that is. Speaking of comedy, did you know that the ancient Celts forbade comedians to get married? They believed that the job of a satirist was, if a king should do something bad, to insult him so strongly his skin broke out in welts. Because they had this thing where they didn't let you be king if your skin was broken out or something. It doesn't make sense to me, but I'm sure there's cultural context to it. And then their thought, apparently from there, was these people are too powerful to ever be allowed near children. Let's see. What else can I talk about? This is not turning out quite as well as I hoped it would. But I'm going to blame the lag. You know, instead of getting good. You know what? I'm actually gonna try to fix this thing. Alright, let's see if we can't make this a little bit rounder. There we go. That's better. So I read somewhere that there's evidence to suggest that before written language, people spoke in rhyme fairly often and used way more puns. Wouldn't it be cool if we had retained that since writing? That would be an interesting existence. Alrighty, I think this is close enough. So, let's draw this. So, let's see. Did you know that the Hatsune Miku version of Aeba's Polka has exactly the same BPM as Party Rock Anthem? That's pretty cool. It's interesting knowing which songs have the same BPM, because like Staying Alive and Another One Bites the Dust have the same BPM, which ironically is also the ideal BPM for performing CPR. Beats per minute. That's what BPM stands for, is beats per minute. It's kind of like tempo. Well, I got the anatomy of short stuff all wrong. Not gonna go back and redo it though. But, yeah, there was a hospital that made a Spotify playlist of nothing but songs that have the right tempo for performing CPR. So that's a thing that exists. Let's see. But you want to know what else has the same tempo or BPM as Party Rock Anthem? Billy Joel's Uptown Girl. And also Cruel Angel's Thesis. So yeah, there is a lot of wiggle room. Like the BPM of a song says absolutely nothing about what the song is like. I'm sure if we looked for them, we could find many, many more songs that fit the profile. Let's see. I keep saying that way too much. So, fun fact. Because people tend a survey of cat owners found that a cat that is simply trapped, spayed or neutered, and then put back outside has a better chance of getting adopted than a cat that is brought into a shelter and left there. Because a cat in a shelter is twice as or a cat on the street is twice as likely to just find a home randomly. So that's a thing. I am running out of trivia here. I wonder who named Metamucil Metamucil. Doesn't sound good. Do. And then I'm going to keep this on linear, but I'm going to switch it over to foreground. I'm going to go with a lighter color. Zoom out. I probably should look up Tamatoa again. Alrighty, so with my airbrush very light, if I can find it, there we go. And then we will just draw a nice straight line across here. can take our pen, make it smaller, and start drawing in some coins. I'm trying to broadcast from my dorm less. Just because it is not convenient for scheduling purposes to continue to broadcast from there. Yeah, I'm gonna just call it here. Maybe I'll work on it later. I'm just gonna look up some of my Buddy Thunderstruck references. And I don't have any of my reference pictures still, so I've gotta... work on it this way. And my other computer just shut down randomly. Oh well, that's life, I guess. Alrighty, nothing new in chat. So, yeah, I'm just on stuff as usual. Nothing really much to say. I just kinda don't have much to talk about. My stream of consciousness is getting lessened. Or at least the part of it that can be expressed in words. At least if this looks janky, it's in keeping with the style. And I'm just gonna have them hanging out, sitting on like beanbag chairs, I guess. The height swap isn't really gonna come into play here, but take what you get, I guess. Anybody else miss the Trumpet Kid meme? Ugh, I can't talk today. The Hooked on a Feelin' one was the best one. Not that there aren't still good memes. The moth one with the lamp is, that one's fun too. This is not coming out very well. I wish my computer would stop lagging so darn much. It never does this. Except on Wednesdays, I guess. Maybe I should start restarting it before each stream. Another option would be that I could start backing up the data, or at least the important data. Onto like a hard drive or something, and stop gunking up the built-in one. Oh, you were having trouble accessing it? Sorry. Alrighty. Got our bean bags there. And pants. It's okay. There were a couple points where it stopped broadcasting or something, because I don't know. Things are kind of technically falling apart today. I don't know. I'm seriously... I don't know. Would you guys be okay with it if I just stopped doing these live streams? At least while the semester's going. Because honestly, I don't know, things have been going pretty well, but I just, I just feel like my time might be a little more productively spent if I didn't have to work around these live streams. Okay. You don't mind. I'll have to ask a couple other people. Well, it's not even about taking a break, because I mean, once I quit these, if I quit these, taking a break is going to be like the last thing on my mind. But it would be nice to not have to prep for them and just be able to focus on speed paints. I might be able to do multiple speed paints a week, but I'm not making any promises there. So, yeah, it's not set in stone what I'm going to be doing when it comes to these. And I don't really like the idea of just quitting, but it may be worth it to do so. At least for the time being, until I'm in a place where I can broadcast without interruption. Alright, what I might do is I might close requests and finish off the to-do list. And once the to-do list is done, the live streams will go on hiatus for a while. I don't know. I have to think about it some more, because I really do enjoy doing these. I just don't enjoy working around the circumstances right now. But then again, if people always waited for perfect circumstances to do things, people would never do things. So, I'll just say it's up in the air for now. Alright, thank you for weighing in. I will try to come up with an answer pretty soon. Alrighty, I'll add a little yellow rim around that and a nice white clock face. And I'm going to consider that done. Okay. I'm gonna do another sketch layer for this, just to make it more in character. The fall break was fun. I did basically nothing but sleep and play Kingdom Hearts, and it was amazing. That said, I had to cut it a little bit short because some stuff came up. And I can't talk about it because I was told not to talk about it. But, it has been resolved not only in our... Like, it has not been it has been resolved not only to our satisfaction, but, like, actively in our benefit. So, while I can't talk about it, just know that it ended up working out. I just had to come to campus in order to work it out. Well, in order for the people involved to work it out and also have time to do things. So it was worth coming back to campus a little bit earlier. Guys, do you mind if I cut this one short? I cannot stand this lag, especially not while sketching. And, I really just want to quickly, blast through this sketching and I'll come back to it tonight. Would that be okay with y'all? Well, you know what? We're coming up on 45 minutes anyway. I'm just gonna call it. So, thanks for tuning in. Sorry about the lag. I will see you guys later. Have a nice rest of your afternoon. Bye.